You're used to seeing video game adaptations rather than the other way round. Think about The Last of Us TV show, the many movies and shows inspired by Resident Evil, and even the latest Halo show, which has the gaming community opinions scattered all over the place. But did you know that there are games out there that were inspired by movies? Sometimes it can be subtle, other times it's downright obvious. Welcome to HotFix Gaming, I'm Joy. Today, we'll bring you a list of 10 such games that have been created and molded by movies. So, let's get started. Number 10. Sleeping Dogs. Formerly known as True Crime Hong Kong, the United Front Games open-world title focuses on an undercover cop trying to take down the triads in Hong Kong. Producer Dan Sochan has said in an interview that the Hong Kong movie titled Internal Affairs has been a massive influence for the video game. In the same interview, Sochan also mentions that they took further inspiration from John Woo films, such as Hard Boiled, and also looked at Jackie Chan and Jet Li in order to really try and capture the essence of Hong Kong cinema. All this wrapped up nicely to appeal to wider audiences in the Western countries. So, what do you think? Did you like the game? Number 9. Dead Space. Derelict ships in space are a similarity in Dead Space and the movie Event Horizon, and each respective protagonists share the nightmare hidden inside each. Horrifying visions befall the crew that dares accept the beacon for help. While the creature designs take inspiration from other films in the horror genre, Dead Space's creators have marked Event Horizon as a major influence as well. The unknown of space can be a terrifying place to explore. Dead Space expands upon the decades of science fiction to tell its story, but takes a large influence from the horror classic. And in case it wasn't obvious, Dead Space is also inspired by a game that's part of a massive franchise. In an interview, Dead Space developers Ben Wannett and Wright Bagwell also admit to letting themselves be influenced by Resident Evil 4. In fact, many people like to call this title Resident Evil 4 in space. Number 8. The Fallout series. It's fair to say that there would be no Fallout franchise without the Mad Max movies, as the post-apocalyptic film series is probably the franchise's biggest inspiration. Eagle-eyed players know that Fallout is chock full of references to Mad Max, from the dog you can befriend in the original Fallout that evokes Mad Max's 2 Blue Healer to the leather jackets that you can collect throughout the games. The developers of the Fallout series have been very public about their influences, with the post-apocalyptic landscape drawing obvious parallels to the aforementioned Mad Max, along with lesser-known movies like A Boy and His Dog and Radioactive Dreams. The franchise's creators have also been just as forthcoming about the series' literary influences, such as The Postman by David Brin, A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr., and Richard Matheson's I Am Legend. Number 7. Payday. Robbing banks, stealing diamonds, or hacking into the IRS are a few of the pulse-pounding heists the four-member team works together to complete in Payday the Heist. Overkill Software was inspired by what some consider to be the greatest heist movie of all time to craft their playable adventures. The team looked to Heat to gather inspiration and influence. Payday the Heist offers up many homages in its various missions. From achievement names mirroring characters in the movie to perks mentioning characters, the influence in its missions is respected in many forms. Payday the Heist wears its inspiration on its mask. Number 6. Doom. Doom centers on a space marine armed with a mighty big firearm going into battle with terrifying monsters that have a habit of popping up out of nowhere. Sounds familiar? You guessed it, the groundbreaking first-person shooter Doom is clearly inspired by James Cameron's 1986 sci-fi classic Aliens. John Carmack, id Software co-founder and lead developer of Doom, even confirmed that he'd drawn a lot of inspiration from Aliens in a 2011 Q&A. Doom was imagined as a cross between Aliens and the developing team's favorite B-grade horror movie, Evil Dead 2. The idea to include demons was also inspired by their most recent Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which had ended with demons overrunning an entire planet. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to smash that like button as it really helps our channel grow. Number 5. Bioshock. Bioshock creator Ken Levine has always been open about his love for the 1976 sci-fi film Logan's Run. In an interview in 2007, he confirmed that Bioshock was inspired by the movie, saying the game begs, borrows, or steals from Atlas Shrugged Logan's Run. The film's influence on the game is pretty clear given that both take place in dystopian alternate pasts, inspired by the 1960s. According to Ken Levine, he saw 1976 sci-fi film Logan's Run as a 10-year-old, and the experience would end up inspiring nearly his total body of professional work. The original Logan's Run was based on a 1967 novel from William F. Nolan and George Clayton John, which depicts a dystopian society set in 2116, wherein all people must agree to be executed at age 21 in an effort to control the population. The 1976 film was directed by Michael Anderson and starred Michael York, Richard Jordan, and Jenny Agutter. Number 4. Helldivers 2. Since its recent release in February of this year, Helldivers 2 has done more than just providing exhilarating gameplay. It also successfully introduced the younger generation to the timeless satire called Starship Troopers. The game draws inspiration from the iconic 1997 science fiction film, based on Robert A. Heinlein's novel of the same name. The movie, directed by Paul Verhoeven, depicts a future where humanity is at war with an alien insect species. Since that first movie, 2 sequels, 2 TV series, various animated films, tabletop and video games have followed, with the most recent being the licensed game Starship Troopers Extermination. The similarities are so blatant that the original film's star, Casper Van Dien, has commented on his interest in playing the game, as well as starring in a totally hypothetical crossover movie. Number 3. Metal Gear Solid. With so much influence seeping into the original Metal Gear Solid, including a matching name for the protagonist, it's no surprise that it brings up thoughts of escape from New York when thinking of the 2 experiences. Snake Plissken has a lot to offer in terms of inspiration in his looks and demeanor. Hideo Kojima takes inspiration from Western media in all of his projects. Escape from New York provides a key influence to form one of the most recognizable characters in video games history and the start of one of gaming's giants in Metal Gear Solid. Number 2. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Tommy Vercetti's rise to a criminal powerhouse in Grand Theft Auto Vice City takes inspiration from Tony Montana's tale in Scarface. Rockstar Games has acknowledged the Scarface link and said that the film was a major influence during the game's creation. The Vercetti mansion mirroring Tony's, a number of songs on the radio, and famous scenes from the film are all aspects of Grand Theft Auto Vice City's main campaign that takes influence from the pivotal 1983 film. However, while Montana's story is one of greed and his eventual downfall, Vercetti's rise to power empowers the player. Number 1. Uncharted. There is no shortage of male protagonists following a trail to find a lost treasure or hidden city of gold in video games, movies, or novels. 2 of the most recognizable, however, are in the medium of video games and movies. But even then, Nathan Drake takes a great deal of inspiration from the movie Indiana Jones. While Uncharted, Drake's fortune may not be based around the Indiana Jones franchise of movies, there is no shortage of inspiration. From treasure hunting in exotic locations to the sprinkle of supernatural elements in Nathan Drake's adventures, the Uncharted series has a lot to thank Indiana Jones for. Indiana Jones is the adventure movie to which all other entries in the genre are compared. The structure of these movies makes perfect sense for a video game, so it's little wonder that they influenced 2 of Naughty Dog's most legendary series. Yes, we've mentioned Uncharted already, but did you know that Crash Bandicoot's boulder levels are a nod to the intro sequence from Raiders of the Lost Ark where Dr. Jones is chased by a boulder? Now you do. What other video games inspired by movies do you know about? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you enjoy gaming content and want more, why not check out 2 of our other videos? One is about the top 10 video games that would make awesome TV shows, and the other is about the 10 video games we think should be turned into movies. Both videos are linked on screen.